Now we're going to go over the electrode setup for each of the three major test categories. The first category is the ERG, which has a critical electrode on the cornea here. The ERG measures the retinal response, so we'll be getting the electrical response from the retina. Thus we need to use a corneal electrode to pick up that very tiny signal. The EOG is the second category, where we'll be looking at the voltage swing as the eye moves back and forth. To measure that, we'll need electrodes here and here, as indicated by the image. The third category of test is the VEP, or the visual evoked potential, where we're interested in the conduction pathway from the eye, through the optic nerve, all the way to the occipital lobe. There are two types of electrodes that we're going to be using. There's the skin electrodes, and then there's the corneal electrodes. The skin electrodes are any of the circles that you see, so that's most of them. To use a skin electrode, we first use lemon prep or an alcohol wipe to clean the surface. We're basically trying to take away any oils or dirt from the surface of the skin in order to then get a good connection between the electrode and the electricity happening beneath the skin. After we clean the surface and wipe it clean, we use conductive paste, tape, and a gold cup to apply our skin electrode. So we take our gold cup, dip it in the conductive paste, and then use the tape to place it and hold it in place. That's the skin electrode. Now the corneal electrode for the ERG is a little different. What we like to use is the DTL, which is a disposable electrode. It's a very thin microfiber that's silver nylon. There's two sticky pads. The sticky pads come off and are placed like here, so that this thin fiber makes direct contact with the eye. We'll go over a demonstration of this in a minute. When plugging these into the amplifier, there's a very intuitive way to do so. This amplifier is made to look like a human face. This is the nose, right eye, and left eye. So, if we're starting with the VEP, we ignore the right and the left eye and just use this row of inputs in the middle. They're labeled accordingly, where FC is the forehead zone, CZ is the crown zone at the very top of the head, and OZ is the occipital zone at the inion, 2 centimeters above the inion. Now, the EOG and the ERG have very similar setups. For both of them, the active electrode goes closer to the nose. That's this one or the corneal. Go in the positive ports, whereas the temple electrodes go in the negative ports. So that's these two or those two will go in the negatives. The forehead ground electrode, in this case, these two, will fit into this green right here, what's labeled GND for ground. And there you have it. Let's do a demo next.